at the beginning of the season, say Obeka Chirame, especially for Chelsea fans, said Chelsea were going to play their highest position throughout the season in sector. Seriously, I would have asked a lot of questions, and questions no would have varied from injuries, Snati, Nicole Trudeau, with respect to also how inexperienced some of those players were, especially since some of the injuries no came to the most experienced players. No, and then again, looking at how the whole season has unfolded, criticisms to manager Mauricio Pochettino, the players, and all of these things, like, it has been mind-boggling. Seriously mind-boggling. But their Chelsea are sixth position, the highest they've been all throughout the season, and Europe is staring right in the face of Chelsea. If Chelsea are sixth, it means that obviously at least there's going to be Conference League football, no matter what happens in the FA Cup final. If at the end of the day they are 3 points away from Tottenham Hotspur, if Tottenham Hotspur messes up and then they get fifth position, it becomes a hugely successful season. And at the end of the day, it's the end that and it justify the means, not just everything. Guys, hi Fiifi-Manfred. If you've not subscribed to the channel, subscribe to the channel. Turn on notifications, subscribe to the channel, turn on notification. It's important. Turn on notification and subscribe to the channel. And then share the link for me as well, wherever that you are. Today, Manchester United have also played a very, very big game. First one against Newcastle United. And that's had a huge telling 2 weeks ago. I analyzed the rest of the games and I said that I feel Chelsea are going to play in the in Europe next season. And I outlined the reasons why I think Chelsea were going to play in there. First of all, I mentioned the fact that it's going to be a huge morale booster for the team. Secondly, if you look away from morale booster, you're going to look about the fact that Chelsea in itself need funds. I mean, regardless of everything that's been happening in the last 24 hours, Chelsea needs funds. Chelsea obviously would love to have some more funds. And they don't have to sell some of their prized assets this season. Obi to say Conor Gallagher, Obi to say Trevor Chalobah. Every day I confuse the names of Nina Trevor and Nebra Nathaniel. But Chelsea would not want to sell these players. And again, and then to share the performance of Chalobah, he was excellent. I mean, he is the most composed of all the young centre backs, and partnering him with Benoit Bellachile was excellent today. Ground wells, box defending, he was excellent in every right of the word, and it just went straight into it. Now, in analyzing the game, I want to take it from everything that has happened from the Newcastle game and the kind of games that Chelsea have lost. I believe strongly said there are 8 games or 4 games in a Chelsea in Team about Champions League this season. First of all, the game at Chelsea and Burnley about that game that ended in a draw. There was no way Chelsea should have ended that game in a draw. Chelsea played better football. Chelsea dominated that large part of that game. But again, Chelsea ended that game in a draw, and then it cost Chelsea. Chelsea against Sheffield United. Everybody was beating Sheffield. Everybody beat Sheffield home and away. Chelsea dropped point to Sheffield at home, dropped point to Sheffield away. And again, there was no way Chelsea should have dropped point to Sheffield United away. Part of some of these games. Chelsea against Nottingham Forest at home. Another big game where Chelsea dropped a point and they did in the first round. West Ham United away. There was no way Chelsea should have dropped points in such a game like that. And for me, the 2-2 draw against Sheffield United, the 2-2 draw against Burnley United, the 2-2 draw against Aston Villa away at Villa Park, and then again, the 2-2 draw against Brentford. These are very, very important games in my opinion. And Inter Chelsea cannot play in the Champions League. Apart from that, Chelsea have been brilliant in every game that they played. Again, Oshe game it's a 0-0 against Bournemouth in the first leg. Away at the Vitality. Chelsea Elusu 1-0 at Villa at home, and then 1-0 lost to Forest. These games are the games that of course, but nonetheless, so analyzing Chelsea, I think that today, especially the game that Mauricio Pochettino about today against Brighton and Hove Albion has been one of the best, and I'll analyze it for you. But before I even do so, I have to let you know that Manchester United beat Newcastle United. Manchester United beat Newcastle United, and that's a very, very huge result for Chelsea Football Club in their hopes to meet Europe, to play in the Europe. Like I said earlier, a very, very huge and important win for Chelsea Football Club. 3-2 at Manchester United. They share Newcastle United. Now it means that on the English Premier League table, the top 4 is already sealed and done. Villa, Liverpool, Arsenal, and Manchester City are going to play in the Champions League next season. Now there's a race for Europa League. As it stands now, in 5th place, there is Tottenham Hotspur. extra one ever come and you'll be winning the FA Cup. If Man City end up winning the FA Cup because they're already in the Champions League spot, it will go to the 6th position. Which and necessary, can say Chelsea are lying the 6th position. Mind you, in 5th position, Tottenham Hotspur 37 points plus 10 goals with 63 points. Chelsea was 60 points with 13 plus 13 goals in 6th position. It means that a win away at what's the name? A win away at home against Bournemouth, and then Tottenham Hotspur dropping full points or losing to Sheffield on the last day. I don't think Tottenham Hotspur, unlikely that Tottenham Hotspur will drop points away at Sheffield. But then again, if they do, it means that Chelsea will get the opportunity to play through and go to the final and go and get the 5th place, and that would be a huge season. Now, as it stands now, Newcastle United 57 points out of them. Last game to play. Manchester United 57 points minus 3 goals. They have to go and play against Brighton and Hove Albion our the Amex in their last game of the season. So it goes down to the wire. But what a season Chelsea have had. It started from 12-10, 12-10, 12-10 to 11. Say now Ushemi show no ensure consistently. They be show no Richard Rebecca Chelsea chapter 12 verse 11. And then you could understand it was always fluctuating between 12-10, 12-10. Now the season goes in and Chelsea are in there in a mix of go and qualify for you. But how did Mauricio Pochettino win this big one against Brighton and Hove Albion? So you see, about Brighton and Hove Albion, there are 2 things that you have to look at. Brighton are one of the best build-up teams in the English Premier League this season. So Brighton for a bar. Excellent in terms of build-up. They always find options to build through. But some of the best teams that have gone away to the Amex and have got success to Brighton and Hove Albion have also had a very good mid-block, high press structure, a variation of that. So sometimes it starts with a very high press, but it is more central blockade in that stand. So usually a 4-4-2, and that's exactly what Mauricio Pochettino here. He started the game with the same set of lineup at Chelsea about my last game. First of all, with Georgi Petrovic in post, having Nathaniel Chalobah, any Abranche friend Benoit Belashile, Gusto, Marco Crea in there, Moise Caicedo, Conor Gallagher, Cole Palmer, Noni Madueke, Nicholas Jackson, and Mihailo Mudryk. Now, I was particularly excited, first of all, Chelsea in possession. Now, Brighton are a very good pressing team. Mind you, do not forget, very good pressing team. They press very aggressive in there. Now, one of the things I love, they said, in the last 2 games at Chelsea, especially against Aston Villa, Chelsea went in there and then inverted Marco Crea. Now, that gave Chelsea a base for ball progression and also give them a very good rest defense. And as a Chelsea any ball, and they can go in and press. If the forward people can go and press, knowing that there is cover at their back, and they find a rest defense. Now, Marco Crea led that job very well until say Chelsea could share Nottingham Forest. Now, against Nottingham Forest playing in the 4-5-1. It means that central areas now Chelsea with 2 players now usually be more build there. They can have 2v1 in the first phase, then they will progress the ball and go for it in a 3-2 base. Just say 3 center backs in the one, and then you have the 2D, and that's in this case inverted Marco Crea and Moise Caicedo to progress the ball. Against Nottingham Forest, it wasn't working. And when also somebody resist, but there was something that a lot of people aim, and that's exactly why I'm here on Fiifi-Manfred on YouTube. To subscribe to the channel and turn on notification. There were a lot of variations, a lot of rotations. Since most of the time now resumes over by inverted, Marco Crea so by inverted Kakra. Now at the point in time there was both Malo Gusto and Marco Crea on the pitch. All of those variations were going on brilliant on the field of play. Now, in this game against Brighton and Hove Albion, Chelsea with the ball did a lot of variations, and the first variation that came in this game was how constantly there were a lot of rotations in the middle of the park. The ball-sided fullback couldn't be inverted. It wasn't always Marco Crea. Now, I'm sure Pochettino learned from the fact that when he played against Nottingham Forest, it was always easy for them to defend against Marco Crea coming inverted into the middle of the park. So in this game against Brighton and Hove Albion, he used the mobility of a branch friend Marco Crea. So Crea will invert, or Malo Gusto will invert. If Malo Gusto inverts, then Crea will invert. So it was always interchangeable. This one inverts depending on where the ball was, and that's how the team. It means that also because of that, there was always a floating player in between the lines for them. Now, and no one will take you back to first goal at Chelsea share. What's your first goal at Chelsea share now? The Cole Palmer ball on share now. First, it started with Onua Cole Palmer receiving the ball from very, very deep in there. And of course, playing a good war pass with a brand friend Conor Gallagher taking it out, and the corner Gallagher seeing Marco Crea from deep will do the underlapping one. It wasn't an overlapping one. It was an underlapping one in between the fullback and then the outside centre back, in between them. Now, underlapping form, of course, there was a chance for him to cross on his right foot. And because Palmer started from deep, they weren't marking him, he moved in there and then bam, was able to score the goal. I think that it is a good tactical setup for Chelsea to break up Brighton, and they did so. But also, because of the lack of athleticism in Brighton 14, when they didn't have willing runners, Chelsea overloaded the box now, and they couldn't deal with stuff like that in there. So, by way of Chelsea first goal, it came from that. It came from the variations in terms of players ever coming infield near there. Also, there were a lot of times that you see say Moise Caicedo will go into the back three. So it is going to be Nathaniel Chalobah, Trevor Chalobah, sorry, Benoit Belachile, and Moise Caicedo. Then you see both corner guy, both Gusto and then Abrante and Marco Crea all try and invert, come central. So Chelsea will have three. Two of them will become more like the DMs. Then they will allow Moise Caicedo to stay between the two centre backs. Now, also, because Chelsea wanted to stretch Brighton and hold Wabiomi, they didn't consistently push Abrante and Conor Gallagher centrally. So also gave me a corner will always be on the edge and they will stretch it Brighton for him. Then Palmer will be floating in between the lines. I think that was a brilliant tactical play from Mauricio Pochettino on the ball for Chelsea Football Club. Very, very good one. And one thing that I've not seen all season, in this game, was how Mauricio Pochettino used to Abrante defend Georgi Petrovic. Petrovic sometimes played as an extra centre back when Chelsea were building up, when Brighton for pressing were very aggressive. Also, I like the fact that Chelsea were not forced to go long. They they wait and draw Brighton for it out. It was patient. The ball about my centre back, about my centre back, yeah, draw Brighton for it, and that's what Chelsea did. They were able to draw Brighton out, and whilst they were able to draw them out, they got a lot of time and space on the ball, and they were able to head Brighton, find space in between them, get behind them, and then it was a brilliant display again. So in the first half, largely Chelsea, excellent game of football, with the ball, without the ball. Without the ball, it was a 4-4-2 or a 4-1-4-1 mid-block, and a Chelsea boy. Sometimes they pressed very, very aggressive, and they were press triggers, a ball into the side. Again, another press trigger, and I say ball no movie echo into a hard pass, will be intimate control, and Chelsea will be very aggressive on the press and make sure they win the second ball. And I think that these things were good. The off the ball structure was brilliant, and that 4-1-4-1 of the ball structure was one of the best that I've seen this season. Now rotations also very good in terms of build up. They were very, very dynamic. Gusto, Crea, Caicedo will do a lot of rotations in there, and then late overlapping and overlapping runs with Noni and Abrante Manutd was also very good. And I think in the second half, when Abrante Manutd prior and then in Kuku, it was a good one because now Chelsea had an extra number 9, or between the number 10 and number 9 in Kuku, who could play just behind or next to Abrante and Nicolas Jackson. That helped Chelsea a lot in terms of build-up, because now, apart from Palmer, Nkuku could also drop. Apart from Jackson, Nkuku can also drop to do the hold-up play thing in that game. And Chelsea had loads of success in and around that area. Again, I think that for the second game running, it has come down to the quality of the team. And again, waiting at the BS, Obika Chen says a Chelsea team projecting a joke. I look at them and I just laugh because they just do not understand exactly what Chelsea are doing, and they're just throwing words about. There's no way that Chelsea projects a joke. Everything is well planned and things are beginning to come together. I knew, in terms of results, it was only going to take time. And I'm telling you, I don't think that there's any pundit, there's only analysts in this country or even in the sub-region who consistently said that Chelsea just needed time and they just had to be patient. I've said it from the blast of the whistle till now. Yes, there were times where sometimes I get frustrated and whatnot, but really consistently I stuck with it that Chelsea just needed time and Mauricio Pochettino needed time. Those are tactical tweaks. Those are very good build-up play. This is a dynamic build-up play. That's a very good aggressive team that have grown off the ball, on the ball, show that they want to play some good football. They want to win some good in there. If you look at second goal at Chelsea Shena, look at that hold-up from Noni Madueke and then the overlapping run from Malo Gusto. Now, look at the goal very closely. Forget about Nkunku Babeshe goal if Chibabes not able on the shape. Look at Cole Palmer. Cole Palmer positioning in team. A lot of the centre backs were pinned and there was space for Nkunku, who understood that this is the pace that he has to attack. And also, Malo Gusto put the ball in there for him. He attacked that space and bam, Chelsea were up by 2-0. Brilliant display. In attack, because there's quality, Chelsea could play well. And again, some madness happened, like with James. I don't think said. I think he lost his head. There was no need for him to go that, and that's really what made the game even contentious. Apart from that, there was nothing to worry about throughout the game for Chelsea Football Club. It has been a very, very exciting game for Chelsea, and that means he said sixth position, area very, very comfortable for them. There's a possibility to make mark of fifth position, a very, very important possibility for Chelsea Football Club. Then you look at other factors. Manchester United have gone on to win. I'm going to FA Cup final. Newcastle, they won my last game. Chelsea, they won last game against Bournemouth. Then you go in and look at every other decisions that have gone in the English Premier League. So it appears to me that it isn't entirely a bad season. I think that there were some updates in other games that I need to give to you and then have quick thoughts on them. First of all, and I say if you look at the Spanish La Liga, they also gave, I think it's an Atletico de Madrid, a very, very big game also in the Spanish La Liga. So Sevilla have lost 0-1 to Cadiz, 2-1 Real Vallecano versus Granada. RC Celta de Vigo, any team, my friend, Athletic Bilbao, the 30, have lost 3-0 to Athletic Bilbao. And so everything seems to have gone on. Atlanta have lost the Coppa Italia to Juventus in there. And then Paris Saint-Germain have won OGC Nice by 2-1. Stade Rennais 1-0 against Olympique de Marseille. So that's it. I don't know what your verdict of the season is, but Chelsea have done the job. The job was that they just have to win by 2-1. But we'll talk about it on the show. Get into the nitty-gritty, the tactics, the basics, everything in there. Don't go away. Subscribe to the channel. Then more. I'll see you. Bye-bye.